Life has way too many risks in it, ways to fail. There's so many danger flags. It's so impositional. It's rolling dice with somebody else's welfare. There's so many analogies how dangerous this is. You have to ignore all of that to have a child. Totally indifferent to the real prospects of real outcomes that are really, really bad. If you really think about all the negative potential, it's enough to prevent you from going anywhere near it. Pushing your kids onto a tightrope of addiction or addiction to tightrope walking. The downside risks are much darker than the brightness of the upside accomplishments. The risk is not worth the reward. Pain weighs more than joy, because the joy is really a mitigation against pain. Your greatest joys in life are gratifications of your greatest deprivations. You have to walk a few miles in the desert to really appreciate a glass of water. Clearly, life is tainted. Deserve has nothing to do with it. Things really horrible. Imposing is really horrible. It has these liabilities that are just too big. Poison is too much of the pie. I'd rather have nothing than something that's tainted. You're saying it's okay. I don't mind a few of them dying of stuff, even though you didn't do that. You didn't die of leukemia at 10 years old, but you know it's okay. You'd do it for the cause. You're sure that you would do it for the cause. I don't think you'd put up if that was the real deal. You're going to be the victim. I don't think you'd volunteer for that. I don't think any bold talkers with other people's welfare would ever have the courage to do any of that crap. Obviously, life has a lot more than one short straw in it. But let's just say you have that one short straw in 10. I would never have any kind of notion of having any ability to stick that in somebody's pocket. Just say, I'll decide for them. I'll say the victims are okay. It's okay to make these victims. Because these other things need to do something totally meaningless. This absolutely nothing that's going to take place. This meaningless crap. It's all okay. We're so cool, and we're going to do such cool stuff that your suffering will be well worth it. It's just so obnoxious. Here you go, Jimmy. Here's your cancer. Here's your pain and suffering, and it's all going to be worth it because your brother's going to have a great time. I think that's pathetic. I can't even imagine how somebody could say, I would take full responsibility for what I'm philosophically defending. I wouldn't mind having to impose all the negatives on all the victims because it's such a beautiful thing. Glorious nothing. This huge price so somebody can babble and walk and pretend to be somebody. The whole plan is to make a whole bunch of failures so one or two winners can pretend they won something. And they get to be killed too. They're going to be stabbed to death in the end anyway. And that's just a fact. So the whole thing is quite insidious to make all of these little competing things when you know you're going to annihilate most of them. Most of them will be children being annihilated. Evolution is using only one thing. It's using the whip. Reward is created by taking the ouch away. Punishment is imposed by giving you the ouch. And the rewards are illusions. They're delusions.